Have you ever thought dogs are just silly, adorable, and harmless creatures? Think again. Some behaviors that seem goofy, like chasing their tails or rolling in poop, are actually their way of talking to you. The real problem is, you just haven't learned how to understand their language yet. Are they crying for help, expressing love, or sensing something you can't see? In this video, we'll uncover the strangest things dogs do and the surprising psychological and biological secrets behind them that might make you see your furry friend in a completely new light. You've probably seen a dog spinning in circles, trying to catch its own tail. Sure, it looks cute, but sometimes you can't help but wonder, what is it even doing? While it may seem pointless, tail chasing is actually a way for dogs to release built-up emotions, especially when they're bored or mentally stressed. When nothing around them excites or engages them, and their humans are too busy, their tail becomes a kind of self-made toy. But here's the thing. If your dog is doing this excessively, can't stop, or ends up hurting itself, it could be a sign of compulsive behavior, similar to OCD in humans. It's not just a harmless game. Sometimes, what looks funny might really be a silent cry for help. Has your dog ever done this? Were they just having fun? Or did it seem off? Another odd yet common behavior is how dogs spin around before they sleep. Have you seen your dog circle a few times before settling down? It may look like they're just trying to find the perfect chill spot, but this behavior actually goes back to their wild ancestors. According to veterinary researchers, circling helps dogs scan their surroundings for dangers like snakes, bugs, or unfamiliar smells before letting their guard down to sleep. Some even spin in alignment with the Earth's magnetic field, thanks to a built-in biological compass. They're not just choosing where to nap, they're choosing where they feel safe. Have you ever noticed how many circles your dog makes? That might be their emotional map helping them find the safest rhythm in your home. And once they're settled, you might see something even stranger. Your dog munching on grass. For many first-time dog owners, it's confusing. Wait, does it think it's a cow? But dogs don't eat grass because it tastes good. They do it as a natural remedy when their stomach is upset. According to the ASPCA, grass can help dogs vomit when they feel bloated or queasy, or simply calm discomfort. Just like how humans crave sour foods when they're sick, dogs instinctively turn to grass for healing. However, if your dog eats grass frequently, especially if it leads to vomiting or diarrhea, it might be a sign of a digestive issue or nutritional deficiency. So, no, eating grass isn't always a problem. It might just mean your dog is self-soothing in a way we don't always understand. Does your dog ever head to the backyard for a grassy snack? Maybe they're just doing a little detox. But if you think eating grass is the weirdest thing, think again. The next thing they might put in their mouth? Their own poop. Or someone else's. Yep. If you've ever looked away for a second and turned back to see your pup snacking on poop, you're not alone. This behavior, known as coprophagia, is surprisingly common. For puppies, it's often learned by copying their mom, who eats poop to keep the nest clean. For adult dogs, it can come from boredom, stress, a lack of digestive enzymes, or even a desire to clean up their space. The bigger issue? If they eat other animals' poop, they're at risk of catching parasites or infections. Experts say if your dog does this regularly, it's time to check their diet, physical activity, and emotional state, because they might be missing something they can't tell you about. It's gross, sure, but don't yell. Sometimes, what seems disgusting is actually a sign they need your attention. Has your dog done this before? Were you angry or just concerned? Now, let's talk about one of the most awkward yet common behaviors, sniffing each other's butts. If you've taken your dog to a park, you've probably seen it. Two dogs greet, then immediately head to the back for a long, investigative sniff. Strange for humans, but for dogs, this is a normal social ritual. Their anal glands release pheromones, a kind of scent-based ID that tells other dogs everything from gender and health to mood and even pregnancy. One sniff can carry more information than 100 swipes on Tinder. And if they've met before, this sniff helps them confirm their memory, like a smelly handshake. So next time your dog gets sniffed, don't interrupt. It's just them doing their version of a polite introduction. Not all social behaviors are this charming, though, especially the one where your freshly bathed dog rolls straight into something awful outside. Many people think this is rebellious behavior, but in reality, it's an old hunting tactic. Wild dogs would roll in dead animals or feces to hide their scent from prey. The instinct remains, even though your modern pup has no need to hunt. Now, it just leaves you with a smelly mess. If your dog loves rolling in stinky stuff, try redirecting them with scent games or use lightly scented shampoos, because to a dog, smelling too clean isn't exactly appealing. Ever given your dog a fresh bath, only to watch them sprint outside and roll in something nasty? Tell us your funniest disaster moment. Sometimes, instead of hiding their scent, dogs want to share it by sitting directly on your foot while you relax. It's adorable, yes, but it's also their way of saying, "This person is mine." Dogs communicate through scent, and when they sit on you, especially on sweaty areas like your feet, they're marking you as their person. It's not an invasion. It's a quiet declaration of love and trust. Have you ever been your dog's human chair? Where do they like to sit? And how does that make you feel? Of course, sometimes their affection takes a more awkward turn, like when they hump your leg or your guest's leg. That moment can be hilarious or painfully embarrassing. But humping isn't always sexual. It can come from stress, hormone imbalances, or simply too much energy. And yes, even neutered dogs do it. If it happens occasionally, just redirect them. But if it becomes frequent or disruptive, talk to your vet to rule out neurological or hormonal issues. This isn't about being naughty. It's just your dog needing a better way to burn off emotions. Ever been caught in one of these moments? You're not alone. Then there's the picky eater. Some dogs refuse to eat where you place their food. Instead, they carry it somewhere else before eating. If you have multiple dogs, it might be a sign they feel threatened and want privacy. But if it's just one dog and they bring food closer to you, that's love. They simply don't want to eat alone. A small act that shows deep emotional connection. Does your dog prefer company or solitude when it eats? And what about that adorable head tilt? It's cute, but also confusing. Are they hearing something? Sometimes, yes. Dogs tilt their heads to better pick up sounds, especially high-pitched ones. But if it happens often, along with ear scratching or shaking, it could mean an ear infection. Don't ignore it just because it looks cute. If left untreated, it could lead to hearing loss. Next time your dog keeps tilting its head, don't grab your phone to film. Look closer. They might be trying to say, "Something's wrong." Now, let's talk about the infamous butt scoot. Dragging their butt on the floor might look hilarious, but it's usually due to discomfort in their anal glands. When those glands get blocked or infected, it causes pain, and scooting is their only relief. If your dog does this frequently, or you notice swelling, take them to the vet. They might need a simple procedure or medication, and please, don't scold them. They're not being weird, they're uncomfortable. Think that's the last of it? Think again. Some of the strangest behavior happens when they're asleep. Ever seen your dog twitch, bark, or run in their sleep? That's REM sleep. Just like humans, dogs dream. Those little movements are their responses to what they're seeing in their minds. Experts say dreaming is healthy. But if your dog seems panicked or shakes violently in sleep, it could point to seizures. Sleep is when they escape the world, but it's also when their deepest emotions come out. Ever watched your dog chase something in their sleep? A soft back rub might be all it takes to calm them, even mid-dream. Another surprisingly emotional behavior? When your dog quietly lays next to you, gently resting its head on your leg or back. Dogs don't need words to say, "I love you." They show it through actions, expressions, and yes, all those weird quirks. Now you know, behind every strange thing your dog does is a world of emotion, instinct, and quiet love. They can't speak, but if you listen with your heart, you'll hear it loud and clear. I'm here for you. Not everyone gets to have a dog, but the lucky ones? They're the ones dogs choose as family. Does your dog do any of these things? Which one made you laugh or touched your heart? Share your story. It might help someone else understand their dog a little better. And if this video brought you closer to your four-legged friend, stick around. Because in the next video, we'll explore the small things dogs do that reveal just how big their hearts really are. See you there.